Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking everything about the Disney cruise and my full review on what I thought of it, whether I would do it again, my good experiences, my bad experiences, what I would have preferred to happen rather than what did happen. I'm also going to be showing you all the merchandise that I bought with my son while we were on the Disney Fantasy. I have to multitask today, people, so I'm going to be doing some jobs while I'm talking to you about all of this, but I really hope that you find it useful. If you are thinking of doing a Disney cruise at some point, I hope that my review helps you in some way. But before I jump into it, I do want to just put a little disclaimer out there that everyone's experience on a Disney cruise is different. And what I might have found that wasn't great for me, other people might have absolutely loved it. So just take this as my review and go and watch plenty of other Disney cruise reviews as well, so you get a full roundup of what it actually can be like. But would I do it again? Yes, I absolutely loved it. But let's jump to the merchandise first while I'm sorting out my kids' school uniform. Okay, so we're about to start doing the school uniform try on and make sure everything fits and this stuff. But let's go through what we got on the Disney cruise. So a couple of things that we don't have anymore. My son bought his dad a little lightsaber keyring that lit up. So obviously we've given that to his dad. Because my dad and his wife were so kind to us, and the whole journey of the Disney cruise, helping us out, paying for hotels and dinners and stuff like that. I got them some Mickey Mouse Christmas decorations, which we've also given them as well. My son had some money given to him from family members, so he had that he could spend his money on, and he decided to buy this little cruise squishy keyring. And I think the reason he bought it was because I don't like the feel of it. So I think he just wanted to wind me up, really. But it's Disney Cruise Line on it. He picked that up. I wanted to get a key ring of a ship in a bottle, but they didn't have any, unfortunately. So maybe next time. But he got that key ring. And then he just got a load of plushy teddies. Now, I already got this before we got on the cruise. So he had that given to him on the cruise. So I bought it before, but I gave it him when we were there. And then we went and got loads of plushes. Now, I told him before we were to go, no clothes, no teddies. And I've come away with 5 teddies.
She actually said 5 teddies, and that's the maximum. That's what she said first.
I did not say,
yes,
no, I did not. I said no teddies, no clothes, and now we've come away with 5. However, 2 of them were my fault because he only picked up 3, but the other 2, I just thought, you need the other 2 to complete most of the set. But we still haven't completed it. So if we go again, then we need to complete the plushie set. So we do have Mickey. So he picked up Mickey. And then we also have Minnie, because he didn't get Minnie, but Mickey didn't feel right without Minnie. So I had to go and get Minnie. So we've got Mickey and Minnie. And then we've got Donald. We didn't get Daisy because I didn't like the look of the plush. It just didn't look right. But we have Donald. And we have Goofy. So we've got Goofy as well. And then the last one we got was Chip of Chip and Dale. Unfortunately, Dale had sold out. So obviously no one likes Chip. Everyone likes Dale. And Dale had sold out. So when we go again, we have to try and search for Dale. And we're going to go on the first day and see if we can grab him. So those are the plushes that my son bought. That's everything that he bought. Obviously the key ring for his dad. Then I got the Christmas decorations for my dad and his wife. I also got a pin, a Disney Fantasy pin. Every time I go somewhere with my son, or if I go somewhere on my own, I collect a pin. Just so I can collect all the pins of the places that I have been, just to have something. It's like a little souvenir without having anything big in the house. So like I used to collect mugs, but they just take up so much space. Where this, I'm going to try and get like a little pin folder and I put all my pins in there. And then the last thing that I actually bought for myself was a Disney Fantasy ship with Christmas decorations on. So it's my Christmas decoration. So I've got that for myself to put up at Christmas. And then there was a shop called Dreams and Wishes that gave out free charms every single morning. And I don't think I found all of them yet, but there's this one here. It's like a little, I don't really know what it is, bird or something. But we got quite a few of them. We got a ship. We've got a little bag or something, but we actually got 2 of everything, and we know someone that would like the other one, so we're going to find them all out, make sure we've got 1 of each one, and then we're going to give them to this little girl that we know. I also took our stateroom card here, so 8591. I do have the Key of the World card as well, but that's got my son's name on it and my name on it, so even though you know my name, but you've got my son's name on, so I'm just going to leave that one. But we did bring those home as well. I also brought home one of the luggage tags because we were going to put our luggage out for collection and then wait for our name to be called, but we ended up doing an express walkout where we take our luggage with us to breakfast and then we just walk off, and it was so much easier, but I'll go into that a little bit later in the video. But I did bring one of the tags home with me. I also kept the Disney Cruise Line card when our luggage tags arrived, so I wanted to keep that as a souvenir. And then we had some little envelopes in the drawer, so I took them home as well. The Disney Cruise Line envelopes, we had a small one. We had some Disney Cruise Line note paper, so I brought that home as well. And I brought home the 2 Disney pirate bandanas as well. We didn't use these for Pirate Day, but we brought them home. And in the drawer, there was also 2 postcards. So I've got the Mickey and Minnie postcard, and we've got the Disney Fantasy postcard as well. And we also took home the Disney Cruise Line pen as well that was in the drawer. So that's everything that we got from the Disney cruise. So in total, I just spent $480. And that included the photo package, and it included the placeholder as well. So I don't think it was that bad a price. I was expecting to spend a lot more, but to be honest, you don't really need to. It was just more souvenirs that we did. One thing that we did buy was a fridge magnet for Nanny, didn't we? Yeah, we bought a fridge magnet for Nanny. But other than that, we didn't buy anything else. Nothing. We didn't really need it, you know. And even though I love Disney, I didn't want my house to be took over by Disney. So I'm going to be changing my bed, so I thought I would come on and talk to you about Disney. I would also like to apologise for the mess behind me. I am decluttering and I'm tidying up. And you know what it's like when you do that? You've got to make a mess before it gets tidy again. But my bed needs changing and it hasn't been made, so I thought I would do that now. And I would chat to you about Disney and my experience and my review and what I would have done differently next time I go, and if I am actually going to go again. The first thing is I wouldn't listen to all the groups and all the WhatsApp groups. I did find the WhatsApp groups useful to start with, and I met some great people because there was a single parents group and I made a really good friend on there, and I made some acquaintances, I would say. I wouldn't call them necessarily my friends, but I did meet one person that had become a good friend of mine. But other than that, the groups, they can raise your anxiety and settle your anxiety in 60 seconds. It's an absolute nightmare. Everybody has a different experience. Some people have been on a Disney cruise 2021. Some people went on the cruise last year. So everyone had a different experiences and things have changed along the way. Also, it's repeated a lot. A lot of people ask the same question over and over again, and it can just become a little bit draining. And because I was a first-time cruiser, I thought I had to do everything that was suggested, and you really, really don't. Some of it was an absolute nightmare. Now, the first thing I didn't take part in was a fish extender. And what the fish extender is that there's different groups set up on Facebook or on WhatsApp, and you are given some room numbers and who's in that room, the ages of those people, and you can go and buy them presents. And you can buy them small presents or you can buy them bigger presents if you want to. I decided not to do that with my son because I thought I haven't got the energy to buy presents for other people that I don't know. And it's carrying it and it's taking it on the ship and putting it in all the suitcases, and I thought that's not something I particularly want to take part in. There was also something called pixie dusting, which means you go around the ship with these little pixie dusting bags. It could be stickers, tattoos, it could be actual bags, like I made up some bags. I will link what I did in the description box below. And to be honest, that caused me a lot of stress. Now, the person I made friend with just had stickers and was just dishing stickers out to everybody, and it worked perfectly, and it didn't take no effort, it didn't take as much money as I spent, and it didn't take any room in their suitcase. So I think if I'm going to do pixie dusting again, I'm just going to do stickers, or I'm just going to do sweets, or I'm going to do something like that, something really cheap, really small, just to put in my bag, and then you just go and randomly give stickers out to lots of different children. People have these things on their door. It's just called a fish extender, where you can put the pixie dusting in, or you can just hand them out to the people around you. Now, the only thing that I found is that there were some fish extenders and kids were going around taking stuff out of the fish extender that was meant for someone else. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to do fish extenders to start with. And if I go again, I won't be doing it again either. And pixie dusting, I won't be going as crazy as I have done before. Because to be honest, when I was on the ship, it was just like a chore that I had to go and do with this pixie dusting stuff. And I would have much rather spent that time just exploring and having fun with my son. If you want to do it, I think it's great. I think it's a great thing for people to do. I just didn't enjoy doing it, so I won't be doing it again. Now let's talk about Embarkation Day. Embarkation Day was the smoothest ever. It was so easy. I was dropped off, so we pulled up, we were dropped off, we were told where to put our suitcases, told where to line up. As we went through, we were directed from the moment we got out of the car all the way through until we boarded the ship. Everybody was telling us where to go, what to do. We had our photo taken just before we went onto the ship as well, which was brilliant. I can't fault it. So if you've never done it before and you're really anxious like I was, just tell someone, I've never done this before, I don't know what I'm doing. And they really do take care of you. They're all happy. I could not fault it in the slightest. It's really easy, really self-explanatory. And if you do get stuck or you're unsure, just ask and there's someone there to help you. When we got on the ship, the only thing I would say is when we actually got onto the ship, we were welcomed on, which was lovely. And then you walk on and then there's no one there to help you. So if you have been on the Disney cruise before, you kind of got an idea of, okay, we're on, we need to go and sign the kids up to Kids Club. We need to go and get some lunch. We need to do this. But if you're a first time cruiser, you're walking onto this big ship and you're like, well, where do we go now? So I would think I would have preferred someone just to be on that ship going, is it your first time? And saying like, yeah, of course it is. And they go, okay, you've got Kids Club here, you've got this here, you've got that there, just to give you a little bit more of a direction and knowing what to do. That's the only thing I would say for Embarkation Day, what I would have liked to have happened. But we figured it out ourselves in the end anyway, and it was really good fun. So Embarkation Day is not as scary. You don't have to take lots of things with you in your hand luggage like I thought I had to. I took so much stuff. And you really don't. Just a small rucksack would be fine. You are going to get your suitcase. But if you are worried about it, I would put something nice on to embark on. I wore my nice blue linen dress. For any reason my suitcase didn't turn up, I would have still been looking lovely in my blue dress and felt happy in my blue dress for dinner. So you don't need to take as much stuff. As for the rest of the trip, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And I was watching Elliot Giles, because he was on the same cruise as me. I was watching his review. I'll link that in the description box for you as well to go and have a look at. And he did say on there that there was a cruise for everyone. And he was completely right. There is a cruise for everybody. If you go on that ship, you are going to have a completely different experience than I did, and I would have a different completely experience to the person next to me. It's a cruise for everyone. There's adult only stuff you can do. There's little baby stuff. There's toddler stuff. There's kids stuff. There's so much stuff there that you can do. You are never going to get bored. It is what you make it. Now, the Kids Club, my son went in there twice, didn't overly enjoy it. It wasn't really for him. There was nothing wrong with it. It was absolutely lovely. But when I went in there with him, he seemed to have a little bit more fun. That's the only thing I say. But other children from the single parents that I knew absolutely loved Kids Club and was in there quite a lot. So, you know, again, it depends on your child. My child's very introvert. He doesn't really like to be out there as much. But there are other kids who are just throw themselves in there and just absolutely loves it. So again, like Elliot said, it is a cruise for everybody. One thing that we did do, we spent a whole day doing it, was finding characters. Characters are out all the time. They're everywhere all the time. And you get the app and on there tells you where they're going to be and at what time they're going to be there. Now, my only tip is if you are going to be meeting Mickey Mouse at 9:15, get there at 9:15. We actually went for breakfast at 8 o'clock. Belle was going to be on at 9 o'clock on the balcony, and we went for breakfast at 8 o'clock. She was going to be there at 9 a.m. and somebody was queuing at 8 a.m. and you had to wait 2 or 3 hours. I felt that the princesses you had to wait longer for. Luckily, I didn't have to wait because I've got a boy, didn't want to hang out with princesses. But every time we went to queue up for a character, we made sure we were there 30 minutes before, so we were at the front of the queue, and you only waited about 30-40 minutes. But I do know that some people waited for those characters for 2 to 3 hours. Now there's nothing you can do about that. There's no other system you can do. When the queue was really long and there was already a character out, the character after that would come out and sign autographs, so it's just like a quick photo and then you could go. But if you do want to do the characters, then get there early. That's the only thing I would suggest. If you want to book things like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, the golf simulator, which we didn't book this time, so we wasn't sure what it was, or if you wanted to book the Royal Gathering, then I would suggest you get up at 5 a.m. and book it, because they go within seconds. They are really, really fast. Obviously, I didn't have to do any of that because we were interested in that kind of stuff, but just to give you a heads up. Now, other things that we did, the pool was great. We loved the pool. The aqueduct was brilliant. So the pool was great. The aqueduct was great. The Mickey Mouse slide, my son absolutely loved. The actual pools itself were not very deep, were not very big. And every 10 minutes, they kicked everyone out the pool so they could clean the pool, which is hygiene, which is absolutely fine. But for me, I just kind of sat in there. My son kind of went underwater a little bit. It wasn't the best. It wasn't like a proper pool, but then what do you expect on a ship, right? But my son loved it, and that's all that matters. Now, the aqueduct was really, really good. We really enjoyed it. We queued up for 30 to 40 minutes for a 30-second ride, which is normal. Luckily, we were in Spain when we went there, so it was really hot, so we weren't waiting in cold, we weren't shivering. It was really, really warm, but definitely worth doing the aqueduct. It's so much fun. If we had a chance to do it again, we would have, but I highly recommend doing that. Okay, let's talk about the rooms. Now, I got an inside stateroom, so it was just a very basic room, the cheapest room there is. No windows, no veranda, nothing. It's just a room. Please go and check out my other Disney vlog and it will show you a room tour of it. We did have a little porthole where characters came in. We could see what was going on outside. And my son loved it because he saw like Piglet, Mickey Mouse, Jiminy Cricket, Winnie the Pooh. He saw some unicorns. I saw Slinky when he was asleep. I saw Captain Hook when he was asleep. So we really enjoyed that. It was a cheap room, but my son absolutely loved the porthole. I know you can get rooms where they just have a big window, like a big massive porthole that you have on the ship that you can sit in. And my friend that I had there, he had a veranda room. We went in there and checked it out. To be honest, the room wasn't any different to ours, but it had the veranda on it, which was nice if you like to have some daylight coming in to your room every morning. My son and I wasn't overly fussed on that, so it was only going to be for 4 days, but we were quite comfortable in the room. They had no problem. The staff there, the crew, were amazing, absolutely brilliant. The photographers, I cannot fault. They were fantastic. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to tip the photographers, which is really, really annoying. But if you could, I would highly recommend tipping them if you were allowed. I highly recommend getting the photo package. The photo package was brilliant. I have got some amazing photos of my son and myself, and it's absolutely memories that when I move into my new house, I'm going to be getting them a bit bigger and I'm going to be putting them in my house because they are so, so nice. So highly recommend paying out the money for the photo package. The shops were basic shops. I wasn't expecting anything from the shops, to be honest, and there were some nice things there. Things do sell out quickly, so if there's anything specifically that you want, I would suggest going to get them and buying them straight away. There was nothing specifically that we wanted. We waited till the last day to get what we wanted to have. The only thing we did miss out on, as you saw earlier, was the Dayor plushie, but other than that, we got everything else we wanted. Obviously, it wasn't cheap, it was expensive. So each of those teddies I showed you earlier were $25 each. And then my son got his dad a little lightsaber. That was like $14, $15 for that too. So it wasn't the cheapest. But then what do you expect for Disney? Like it was the average price for a Disney shop, I thought. There was lots of shops there that you could do. They gave you a few free things out as well, which was nice. But nothing that I would say, oh my God, you have to go. Yes, definitely go and have a look around, but nothing that I would write home about. Let's talk about the shows to start with. The shows were brilliant. Aladdin was fantastic. I loved Aladdin, and Believe show hit all the feels for a parent. It just hit everywhere. It was absolutely magical, and Believe is the only show you can watch on a cruise line. You can't watch it anywhere else, so I believe. But if you do go on a cruise ship, do not miss that show. I highly recommend that show. It was unreal. The shows are at 6:15 and 8:15. So if you're on late dining, you watch the 6:15 one. If you're on early dining, you watch the 9:15 one, not 8:15, 8:45. Now, if you've got little kids, I find that really difficult because they don't want to eat late, but the show's too late, it might be past their bedtime. You can watch it in your stateroom, but you don't get the same feeling, do you? So on the last night, we didn't do dinner. We didn't do dinner a few nights, so we'll go into dinner in a little bit. And we actually had room service, and then we went to the early show for Believe, because it just made more sense. Therefore, the kid could eat a bit earlier, and then we could watch the show and still get to bed at a reasonable hour. Because obviously you're on holiday and the kids can stay up, but there were like 4 or 5 year olds in the pool at 10 o'clock at night. Now, I'm not judging anyone's parenting, but that's not something I particularly want my kid to do at 10 o'clock at night. He was still awake at 10 o'clock. He was just chilling out on bed watching a Disney movie or something. He wasn't doing anything like massively crazy. We were usually back into the room by like 9:30, and I think that's a relatively good time to have him back in the room. Otherwise he would have been overtired and grumpy. But some people kept their kids in kid club till 10, 11 o'clock at night, and there's no judgment on it. It's just not something I particularly want to do. But I didn't enjoy Frozen. That's the only show I didn't really enjoy. Just didn't feel right, didn't hit right. There was just something quite wrong with it. I would really like to go and see Frozen in the theatre in West End or in Broadway. I'd really like to go and do that and see what the difference is. But on the Disney Cruise Line, it just didn't hit anywhere for me. I just wasn't enjoying it. So we actually left halfway through because it just wasn't really something I wanted to do. Next, let's talk about the dinner. Now, we had a table of 17 people because we got to know some people through the single parents group. And personally, I found it hectic. I found it too noisy, too busy. And every single time like we ordered our starters, somebody would come in a bit later and then they would order theirs, and it felt like it just kept resetting itself. The food wasn't amazing. It wasn't great. It was just average food. And my dinner service, my server, his name was Malcolm. He was absolutely lovely. There was nothing wrong with him at all. But from the other vlogs that you see, people go, it's exceptional service. They did a great job. It was absolutely brilliant. I didn't get that from him. I didn't get anything exceptional from him. It was just like I went to a restaurant here in the UK, and the way I'm treated at a restaurant is the way I was treated there. There was nothing exceptional about it. He didn't do a bad job, did a good job, but nothing for me to go, oh God, he was brilliant. We only went to 2 dinners. I went to Animator's Palette and I went to Enchanted Garden. After Enchanted Garden, I just couldn't do it. It was just too crowded. It was too noisy. It was too much. There was too many people on my table, all making noise. Kids were crazy. Adults were all talking, and I just become overstimulated. So we didn't do the other 2 dinners. For breakfast, I didn't do Cabanas. I'll tell you about that in a moment. I did do Royal Court for breakfast most mornings, and it was amazing. The service was much calmer. There was a guy called Boris from India. He was fantastic. We went with my friend and his daughter, and Boris was interacting with our kids brilliantly. He talked to us as well. He was just a really nice guy, and he did exceptional service for me because he made it a little bit better for us rather than just crazy. I think as well, probably not exceptional, that's probably a big word, but compared to what I had at dinner, it was exceptional. That's how I would put it. We also had lunch in Royal Court once as well, and we saw Boris again, and again the food was absolutely wonderful. I wasn't going to eat fish on the ship because it felt weird, but I did eat fish because it was so good. My kid had chicken tenders or a burger with some fries. and really loved it. My friend unfortunately ordered a turkey burger and it was undercooked, so that's the only downfall of it really. And then obviously we all had Mickey ice creams, because you can't go on a Disney cruise without getting a Mickey ice cream, which were delicious, by the way. We did go to Cabanas for lunch once. I found it very confusing. So you can walk in 2 different entrances. And then you would think you could start at either end, right? And just walk through. It's a buffet. But no, you are then pushed all the way to one side and you have to start at that end and then you have to work all the way back through. And by the time we got to the other end, people were coming back from that way. It was very confusing, very busy, very stressful, and again, overstimulated and overwhelming for me, so I just didn't bother going back to Cabanas. And the final thing we did on deck 11 was some like quick service food, where like burgers, chips, pizza, wraps, fruit salads, all of that. We went there for one evening for dinner and it was absolutely brilliant. I told my son to go up and get another slice of pizza. He decided he wanted 4 slices of pizza. Unfortunately, the person behind didn't understand what my son said, so then brought out a full cheese pizza for my son, and he only ate like 3 slices. So we all laughed about it. It was funny. But that food was delicious. That was definitely quick, good old-fashioned food that you just want to eat and then just move along and do your own thing. We had that on Pirates Night, so we could go and watch the pirate show. Would I do the cruise again? Yes, I would. I am going to do the cruise again. Obviously, it's a very expensive cruise and we are moving house, so we are not going to do it next year. We're just going to go on a regular holiday, but we are going to go and do it the year after in 2027. We're hoping that the Wish will be here and we're hoping to do that cruise in 2027. So there'll be another journey of Disney, but again, like I said in my previous video, I'm not a travel vlogger. It will be showing you little bits and pieces of my Disney day, but mainly it's going to be just me and my son actually having some really good time. So that is my review of the Disney Fantasy and our first ever Disney cruise experience. We are going to do it again. We absolutely loved it, but like I said at the beginning, and like my friend Elliot has said as well, it is a cruise for everyone. It depends how you make it. Your experience will be completely different to my experience, and there is no right or wrong in that either. So that is our Disney experience. Papa, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, and it's spitting downstairs.
Is it raining?
Yeah.
Oh, my washing's out.
Yeah.
All right, okay, I better go. I gotta get my washing in. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I will come back a bit later because we're gonna make some homemade granola. We got to rent out Asda and get some polo shirts for you.
Yeah.
Make the bed, get the washing in, do the ironing. A busy day. I'll catch up with you in a bit. This is Future Rachel, and I realised I didn't do an outro of that. I think I was going to carry on recording, and then things kind of got carried away with me that day, and I just forgot to end the video. So I just wanted to end it now. That was my review of the Disney Fantasy. I would definitely do it again because I'll be more aware of the process and how it all works, what to do, what not to do. But as I said in the video, I'm not going to do it until 2027, which gives me, again, 2 more years to save up for it. But I would love to know what your thoughts are. If you've been on a Disney cruise or you are about to go on a Disney cruise, did you find this review helpful? Did you feel the same as me on your first cruise? A bit of fear of doing something wrong or missing out on something and trying to fit all of it in? I learned so much from doing this cruise, but the most important thing was that my son and I had the best time. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for being around for this journey. It's been quite a long journey, this whole cruise holiday. It's been started in March 2024. It is now over. There is another one coming, but I don't think it'll be as stressful as this one has been. Now we can finally put this whole Disney journey to one side and we can get started on Christmas content and saving money for Christmas and being frugal for Christmas and doing Christmas on a budget and all of the things that I know you are going to find helpful. So if you want to see those videos, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that little notification bell as well, because then you'll be notified every single time I upload a video. There is a video coming out on Wednesday of how to save £500 for Christmas. So if you want to see that, then definitely do hit that subscribe button and that bell. Also, if you like the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I hope whenever you're watching this, you're having a good morning, good day, or good evening, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.